Okay, so we are on NTI Day 3, and your passage should be Court Rejects New York City's Portion Cap for Sugary Drinks. Okay, so first I'm going to show you a little video that kind of introduces to what this passage is talking about. So here it is.
We're going to turn now to the looming ban this morning on all supersized sugary drinks. New York City planning to outlaw sales of big sodas and other sweet drinks over a certain size in an effort to curb obesity. It is the first ever nationwide ban of its kind. And ABC's Dr. Richard Besser is here with more. And Rich, this is raising a lot of eyebrows.
It really is. I mean, this is big. This is a dramatic measure. You know, the mayor is saying this is about helping people lose weight because more than half of all of the people in New York City are obese or overweight, and that number is only growing. If approved, the ban could prevent restaurants, delis, even movie theaters from selling sugar drinks larger than 16 ounces. Drinks in cups and bottles larger than that would be illegal. Larger sizes of water, milk, and fruit juice could still be sold. New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg told the New York Times, New York City is not about wringing your hands. It's about doing something. I think that's what the public wants the mayor to do. He says he's targeting the drinks because they're empty calories, that they cause people to gain weight without helping them feel full. An idea the city has been pushing in public service ads since 2009.
I think it's a good way to send the message that, you know, he's supporting healthier lifestyles.
I don't think it's the mayor's job to decide what sort of soft drinks that people in Manhattan or anywhere in the world want to buy, for that matter.
The proposed ban is just the latest in what many call his war on obesity. Since being elected, Bloomberg has banned smoking in public places, stopped the use of trans fats in city restaurants, and also required them to post calorie counts on menus, an idea later incorporated in President Obama's healthcare legislation in 2010. So let me show you what this looks like, Robin. This is a 16-ounce cup that has 200 calories, 12 and a half sugar cubes. 12 and a half, that's a lot of sugar. So the mayor is looking to ban anything above that. So here we have a 32-ounce cup, 400 calories, that's got 25 sugar cubes. That's a ton of sugar.
It's like you said, it's empty calories, but I don't think people realize. I mean, when they see it like this, I think it dawns on them. But what do you think about all this?
Well, you know, clearly, if you want to lose weight, the one thing to do is knock out your sodas. If you have one 20-ounce soda per day and you cut that out, you could lose 25 pounds a year. 25 pounds. But you have to want to do it, and I don't think this ban is going to make people want to change their behavior.
You hit it. You have to want to do it. But at least it's sparking dialogue.
We're talking
people
about
are talking
That's
about
right.
it.
Everyone's talking about it.
I know, but to say it's against the law?
That's a little far.
That is.
That's where the debate's going to come. Okay, thanks, guys.
We're going to.
Okay, so we're back. So we're going to start reading Court Rejects New York City's Portion Cap for Sugary Drinks. So this is by Dr. Lisa Firestone. So I'm going to read this little introductory here, even though the video kind of went over all of it. So it says, in 2014, Michael Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York, designed a proposal known as the soda ban that would put limits on the size of sugary drinks that people could buy. The proposal was favored among health advocates, including the Board of Health, who argued that sugar drinks were linked to rising obesity rates and healthcare costs. In this opinion piece, Dr. Lisa Firestone, Director of Research and Education at the Clarendon Association, explains why she believes the New York State Court of Appeals ultimately made the wrong decision in blocking Bloomberg's soda ban. Okay, let's go ahead and read. So we're going to start here. New York City lost its final appeal to limit the sale of sugar drinks larger than 16 ounces. In a 20-page report, the New York State Court of Appeals issued its final decision on the portion cap ruling. Justice Piggott wrote, "We hold that the New York City Board of Health, in the adopting of the sugar drinks portion cap rule, exceeded the scope of its regulatory authority." So right here, if you guys don't know what regulatory authority is, this paragraph here is going to help you answer one of the questions, so you may need to know what this is. So regulatory authority is a law or rule-making power. So by choosing among competing policy goals without any legislative delegation or guidance, the board engaged in lawmaking and thus infringed upon the legislative jurisdiction of the City Council of New York. The portion cap ruling commonly known as the soda ban, was to restrict the sale of sugary drinks larger than 16 ounces in restaurants, movie theaters, sports arenas, and delis. The decision is disappointing and a defeat to public health advocates, urging the government to curb the sale of oversized sugary drinks thought to be a major contributor to America's obesity crisis. Dr. Mary Bassett, the Commissioner of Health for the city, issued the following statement. Today's ruling does not change the fact that sugary drink consumption is a key driver of the obesity epidemic, and we will continue to look for ways to stem the twin epidemics of obesity and type 2 diabetes by seeking to limit the pernicious effects of aggressive and predatory marketing of sugar drinks and unhealthy foods. Mayor Bill de Blasio also expressed his disappointment in the court's decision. As written in the Capitol, New York, we are extremely disappointed by today's court decision that prevents the city from implementing a sugary drink portion cap policy, de Blasio said in a press release. The negative effects of sugary drink overconsumption on New Yorkers' health, particularly among low-income communities, are irrefutable. As a nutritionist, a portion size advocate, I, too, was disappointed with the court's decision. Portion sizes have grown exponentially over the years, and rates of obesity have skyrocketed. In the 1950s, a soda at McDonald's was 7 ounces. Today, the company sells a quart-sized soda nearly 5 times larger than its original size. KFC sells a half-gallon size with nearly 800 calories. Okay, so also, on one of your questions, you are going to need this paragraph. So you can highlight it whenever you're going through it. If you're going through it with me like right now, highlight it because this may help you on one of your answers. Okay. So as I told Food Navigator USA, from a consumer perspective, this was not about banning soda. This was about how much is reasonable for one person. There are a lot of factors that contribute to obesity. One very major one is the fact that we used to be a normal size is now called a mini. Indeed, we need to change our food environment if we want to reduce obesity rates and encourage consumers to select healthier food choices. That means selling smaller size portions of food and drinks that provide no nutritional value. In my opinion, curbing the size of sugary drinks was certainly a good place to start. I applaud the health department's efforts and hope that we can all work together to promote a healthier food environment for our children to grow up in. Okay, so let's go to our questions really quick. So number 1, which of the following best states the purpose of the proposed sugary drinks portion cap rule? So what you need to do is do power of elimination. So we have A, to ban the sale of sugary drinks like soda and juice in restaurants. So does it talk about this in the story? Does it talk about banning them from restaurants like altogether? Okay, you have B, to ban the sale of sugary drinks like soda and juice in grocery stores and private homes. Does it talk about banning the sale of sugary drinks in grocery stores or private homes? You have C, to limit the portion sizes of sugary drinks like soda and juice in restaurants and other places. So does it talk about limiting portion sizes? Or does it talk about banning the sale of sugary drinks altogether? Okay, so obviously we're going to be able to eliminate D because it does not talk about a tax at all. So you guys should be able to X out D. And then here you just got to think about, you have to choose between A, B, and C. So you're going to think about, okay, does it talk about banning the sale of all sugary drinks, or, which is A and B, or if it's just talking about limiting the portion sizes of sugary drinks. So you're going to choose between those, okay? Okay, part number 2, part A. Says, which of the following best explains why the New York State Court of Appeals rejected the sugary drinks portion cap rule? Alright, So there's only one part in the passage where it talks about where the New York State Court of Appeals said anything at all, and it is at the beginning of the story. So remember when I said that you guys will need to remember this. Okay, so your answer for number 2 is going to be here, okay? And when I said you need to know the definitions here to kind of get an idea of how to answer this, okay? So first let's go through the answers. We have, because there was not significant scientific evidence linking sugary drinks larger than 16 ounces to increased risk of obesity. Does it talk about scientific evidence at all? So that's what you have to think about there. You have to remember to chop each answer down and see if it has some truth in it, or if it's even mentioned at all. So that can help you eliminate some answers. Okay, then we have B, because the New York Board of Health does not have the authority to ban sugary drinks. So you gotta look through here. You gotta look for words like authority. Okay, then we have C, because the proposed cap was unfavorable among businesses and citizens in New York City. Okay, so you're gonna look through that for that in there. And D, because the proposed ban on sugary drinks larger than 16 ounces would have cost the New York City too much money to put in place. Okay, so again, you gotta look through here. Does it talk anywhere about money or spending too much money? Okay. So this is also part A, part B question. So whatever you have here, you have to find evidence that supports it in part B. So part B is talking about the evidence. So which phrase from the text best supports the answer to part A? So whatever you choose in part A, this will be your support. So if A exceeded the scope of its regulatory authority, B, choosing among the competing policy goals without any legislative delegation or guidance, C, the decision is disappointing and a defeat to public health advocates, D, major contributor to America's obesity crisis. Okay, so I'll let you choose this one, okay? Number 4. So it's telling us to go to paragraph 6. This is another part A, part B question. Okay, so we have the word pernicious. So you want to find out what it means in paragraph 6. I don't think it's in this one. I don't know why I highlighted that. Okay, let's see if we can find pernicious. Let's see, find. There it is. There it is. Oh, I highlighted that. Never mind, just kidding. They did highlight it. So we have pernicious. Okay, so there's 2 different ways that we can find the answers for this. Okay, so you can look for context clues in paragraph 6. So it says, today's ruling does not change the fact that sugary drink consumption is a key driver of the obesity epidemic, and we will continue to look for ways to stem the twin epidemics of obesity and type 2 diabetes by seeking to limit the pernicious effects of aggressive and predatory marketing of sugar drinks and unhealthy foods. Okay. There's also another way that I've talked about every time that we do Common Lit. There's something that you can do to find the definition of a word. So you're going to use context clues and something else I'm not going to tell you because I know I tell you every time with Common Lit how you can find the definition of a word if you don't know it. Okay? And then you have part B, which is finding details that best support your answer for number 4, part A. So you have A, Sugary drink consumption is a key driver of the obesity epidemic. B. Aggressive and predatory marketing. C. Sugary drinks and unhealthy foods. And D. KFC sells a half-gallon size with nearly 800 calories. Alright, so again, something else that you can do. So you look at this part, and it's telling you to look at paragraph 6. Okay, so it highlighted it. And if you look here, all of these are in paragraph 6 besides 1. So we can use, see, it's all the way down here. So do you think you're going to be able to tell the definition of a word if the word is up here, right here, and then paragraph 10 is here? No, so we're going to say D is not even a competitor in this question. So you choose between A, B, and C. Okay, number 6. According to the text, how have people's expectations for food and drink portions changed over the last 50 or 60 years? Cite evidence from the text in your response. Okay, so again, you're going to be citing evidence from the text. Okay, so you're going to be looking for how the portions have changed for food and drink over the last 50 or 60 years. So think of one thing that, well, I think you guys know anyway, besides reading, kind of how the portions have changed. Have they got bigger? Have they got smaller? So you guys can try to look for that in the text. I think I might have led you somewhere when I read that, saying that maybe you needed this to help answer one of your questions. But anyway, if you need any help whatsoever, you can message me on Google Classroom, send a message on Remind. But anyways, you can message me if you need any help. So good luck.